Paul, a jazz musician with a classical music background, is often invited to lecture and perform before college groups. This class has been studying improvisation, both in jazz and other musical forms. With Professor Fred Katz and bass player Vic Gaskin, Paul improvises on an ancient gypsy melody.
What happened?
Oh, yeah.
Well, that's the feeling you get when you finish one of these things, you know. It's a feeling of incompleteness in a way, because you can't recapture what you did a moment ago, since it's now another period in time. And you get used to that feeling after a while, but at first it's very uncomfortable because you don't know if it made it or it didn't make it, because it's relying solely on the spur of the moment, no preconceptions, and trying to get a rapport going with the other people that you're playing with.
Few far between, huh?
Alan Waite, an old friend, is Paul's business manager. Whenever they get together, the talk reverts to a promotional campaign Alan has mapped out. Although Paul's main income is derived from playing in studio orchestras, he would like to devote more time to his quintet. Paul is convinced that promotion and publicity will help overcome the financial uncertainties of playing jazz full-time. To start with, Alan arranges for Paul to be interviewed by Downbeat, the well-known jazz magazine.
I don't particularly like selling myself, but Chico Hamilton once told me the only security a musician has is in his reputation. And I have to build a reputation by playing good jazz and getting people to hear it. I want recognition. It'll give me more of an opportunity to express my music.
As part of the promotional campaign, Alan arranges for publicity pictures. There must be a personal image to accompany the sound of Paul Horn.
Sitting down?
The photographer sees Paul as a man involved in his music and tries to capture him in the moment of creation.
Stand up there. That's all right.
Shelley's Manhole is one of the best-known jazz spots on the West Coast. A showcase for established groups like Shelley Mann, Shorty Rogers, Dexter Gordon. Wednesday night spot opens up, Alan Waite is able to set a steady booking for Paul's quintet.
And then we go into the 5/4 part here. That's what we were talking about the other night.
Yeah.
Where you could work them both in together.
Yeah.
And back down.
Yeah,
That's it.
that's wild.
Right? Let's try it. I wanted to open at the manhole with some new tunes, so Emil and I started throwing this idea around. I wanted to try some rhythms not usually found in jazz. The next step was to try it out with the group. It seems to slow down there. The quarter note stays the same. And also the accents didn't seem exactly right to me. Vic, what do you have there at that 5/4 part?
8 1/4.
Would you play it for me a little, please? Yeah, fine. Okay. 1, 2.
If jazz succeeds, it's because a gifted musician can call on all he knows and feels and express it in a given instant of music. Paul Horn prepares himself for that moment, his debut at the Manhole.
It would surprise a lot of my friends to see me up early in the morning. It doesn't happen often, but sometimes after an all-night gig somewhere, I'll come down to the beach with the first light. It's a kind of pilgrimage, just me and the ocean. I guess being here helps me to face myself. I feel small alongside the ocean, but not insignificant.
The Japanese call karate a martial art because it teaches a deadly skill. Respect for its powers is inculcated through prayer and the pledge to use the art only in the service of good. Paul has studied karate for 8 months and achieved the first level of proficiency, the purple belt.
I like the feeling of being able to cope with physical attack. It helps me develop a confidence that goes beyond the physical. I think it helps me in lots of ways, even with my music.